Hey, this is Shawnee Maurice and welcome to Hi-Who, where we look at landmark games from the past and see how's it hold up. Today I'm looking at The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, released on the 20th of March 2006. This game is known in the Circle Jerk gaming community as the better Skyrim. I've been playing the series since Morrowind and I'm a fan of Bethesda's other releases. Each game is an improvement on the last. Oblivion came out when I was around 16 and me and my mates fucking love this shit out of it. I often see people online saying how simplified Skyrim is and how dull the art style and atmosphere is in Skyrim and how Oblivion is the better game. So I bought the game and decided to review it to see how it holds up 10 years on. I'm not going to try and make this a Skyrim versus Oblivion video, but there are many points to make about that topic. Anyway, in the tradition of the Elder Scrolls, you start off as an unnamed captive prisoner, slowly but surely finding your way into a tale of responsibility to save the world that you live in. Starting off in a cell, you find Patrick Stewart greeting you as your emperor, letting you free and asking you to help him, as he apparently saw you in a peyote-induced dream. But shit, when the first conversation takes place, does it ever feel so jarring? The game world freezes, and regardless where your camera is actually pointed, your gaze will be redirected and zoomed in into the person that you're talking to. I found this pretty humorous when an NPC started a conversation from far away, and the camera zoomed all the way in as if you were having an up-close personal conversation. It's not a bad mechanic, it felt a bit strange and world-breaking at times. It kind of felt like this.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron. So how long are you folks in town?
3 more days, and then we're off to Paris.
We're going with the Select Charter Group.
I love France. I was just there last year. In fact, I still have an envelope full of French francs. I'll get them to you.
The same conversation mechanic is in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, but for some reason I never found it so jarring in those games. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's the dialogue in Oblivion and how fucking cheesy it is. But I recently replayed Fallout 3 last year before Fallout 4's release, and I never had an issue with the dialogue or the zoom-in mechanic. Anyway, back to the game. The main mission has you go through these Oblivion gates and basically shut off these portals to what is basically hell. You gotta stop all the bad dudes from coming in and pretty much fucking shit up. These missions inside Oblivion go for about 15-20 minutes, and it is a dungeon crawl, going up a tower, turning off the gate's main power, and you're done. These what I found to be the weakest part of the game. Every room inside the towers are practically the same, with the same enemy types scattered throughout. It's incredibly lazy level design. There's actually a particular main mission where a city calls for aid from all the surrounding cities. You've got to convince each city for help, and there's a conveniently placed Oblivion gate outside their own city too. So in order to get their help, you have to shut down their gate first. They don't make you do this once, they don't make you do this twice, they make you do it 6 fucking times. 6 times. 6 boring, copy-paste Oblivion dungeon crawling times. This is where I had to stop playing. This is where my time was better spent elsewhere.
Come on. You almost got me. Catch me. Come on. Oh, God damn it. Dad, get off our Xbox.
This was becoming a chore, but because I'm reviewing it, I came back through it and got through it all. I did spend my time doing plenty of side quests and fashion quests though, and some aren't too bad and pretty enjoyable. I had a lot of fun doing the Dark Brotherhood questline. I'm a sucker for stealth-related quests, and giving me assassination quests with special bonuses for completing the quest under special guidelines was really fun and rewarding. But after doing 8 or 9 specifically designed missions that were very different and unique, and personally given to you by members of the Brotherhood, everything changes, and your missions are given to you via letters at dead drops requesting assassinations in dungeon crawls, rather than the previously uniquely designed quests. This became boring very quickly, and whilst the dungeon crawling paid off in terms of plot, the quests themselves were incredibly drab during that segment. Now yes, I understand that this is a dungeon crawler, but it's not a very good one today. We now have Skyrim, which at least gives us the same thing, but at least those dungeons are a challenge and also offer some form of variety and have unique stories in each of them if you were paying enough attention. I played as a stealth archer, and you can't really do that in these poorly designed dungeon levels, but maybe that's my fault for not playing melee instead, I don't know. But for a game that's meant to give the player a choice of style of play, this doesn't really bode well when you're actually playing it. In terms of gameplay, the combat is pretty rubbish to the standard of today. Slashing has no impact, casting is really boring, and the hitboxes are horribly large. It's a joke. Sometimes a public fight would happen, I'd be attacking the enemy, and so would the guards, but the game would recognize me hitting a guard's hitbox instead of the enemy, and I'd be the one being arrested. I'm a big fan of the bow and arrow, from Skyrim to Far Cry to The Last of Us. I love how agile that weapon is. In Oblivion, it's the stiffest piece of shit you'll ever fucking goddamn play with. Animations are pretty average. Your character looks like he's gliding in third-person view. I've seen better animations in a game from the 90s. Now, like any Bethesda game, the soundtracks are always on point. I've never heard a Bethesda game with a bad or lackluster soundtrack. From the bold and loud hero themes of the Elder Scrolls series to the catchy doo-wop sounds of the 50s and the Fallout series. However, the sound design doesn't really hold up today. The music might be hyping you up, you're all ready to go, and then you'd lose any form of epicness as soon as you hit combat. And you hear how fucking stupid your enemies sound. Goblins have this repetitive monkey soundbite, and dogs just have this same quick whelp that doesn't actually sound like a dog, yet it gets played over and over again, and it sounds ridiculous. Sometimes a sentence will be cut off mid-sentence and then repeat the same sentence. It's pretty flawed in that regards. Whilst back then it was a feat to be voicing all these NPCs, don't get me wrong, but this is quite the norm in role-playing games today. Most games today do one of two things: make all the characters voiced with a wide range of voice actors so there's more distinction between the NPCs, or they just block you out completely from talking to the majority of the NPCs. In Oblivion, everyone is voiced pretty much by the same small number of voice actors. From looking at the game's IMDb, they only hired around 9 voice actors aside from Patrick Stewart, Sean Bean, and Terrence Stamp. Now yes, I know that's not fully accountable, however in Skyrim they hired at least 38 people to voice the main NPCs around the world. Whilst this isn't a game-breaking flaw, it's definitely wall-breaking for a fantasy RPG, and that's kind of important. You might be chilling out in a city and watch an NPC walk over to another NPC and they'll be having a conversation. Both dudes are voiced by the same voice actor delivering some of the same fucking lines to each other, and whilst this was an achievement back in 2006, it's hard for me to believe that this is a living, breathing world these days.
Pirate captain, the one who was murdered in his ship, without question. I understand money is tight, but buying discount spells seems like a bad idea.
Speaking of a living, breathing world, it's not living at all. I rarely found anyone in the city apart from a guard telling a beggar to fuck off every once in a while.
A coin for an old beggar.
Sometimes I'd walk into a shop and find all the residents in there. The world feels very empty, and I felt like I was doing this grand quest to save nobody but myself. At least in Skyrim it felt a little bit more alive, and there was actually things going wrong. People were poor, people were hungry, I actually felt it. Each city had their own unique problem, apart from, "Oh no, I sound like the same guy from that last city you were in, please stop that Oblivion gate, please, thanks, okay, bye." I'm gonna list a few things I liked and I didn't like in addition. There's this really weird conversation mechanic which tries to get you to play a minigame in order to get people to like you. I honestly didn't know what the fuck was going on. The menu system is very clunky and I found myself getting lost, even more so than what happened in Skyrim. When you level up, you gotta find a bed so you can actually level up. This is pretty annoying. Don't tell me that Skyrim's leveling system was a dumbed down version. It's incredibly time wasting to find a bed to sleep in to change a few stats. Just let me fucking level up for the work that I've done and let me continue to play the goddamn game. The AI is pretty stupid too. Sometimes NPCs would not be aware of their surroundings in a fight and get themselves killed, often jumping off ledges, walking into fire or traps. I found the game killing enemies for me, so thanks for that, Bethesda. Okay, I lied. I can't come up with any good things apart from saying a few side quests were actually fun. So where do I stand on the game today? Well, it's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but it's not good either. I would say it hasn't aged too well, and the game's faults, which were forgivable back in 2006, really show through today and test your patience. I really had to push myself to play this game so I could do this review. The game is about $20 on Steam when it's not on sale, and is it worth it? Maybe on discount. But if you've played this before and you want to tickle your nostalgia nerves, go for it. But realistically, you won't be playing this to the full extent of the game. You'll most likely play this for a few hours and then another game will come on sale, and you'll forget that this was in your game library completely. My advice? Buy something else. This is Shawnee Maurice from Hi-Hu, thanks for watching.